So the first stash we're gonna hit, we have RUAF roadblock over there. This is Old Woods. Before the expansion, we have the truck on the road. This road goes all the way down to UN roadblock, and about halfway up this white wall, we have the factory gate, and we have this orange, tower here, and in the bush right next to it, you have a stash. So now we're over here at the tank pit. I call this the tank pit because there's a tank there, and there's a pit. You've got the medical camp, the new medical camp right there, Spine Rock up there, and Sherman's little deer stand over here. Next to the tank pit, to the west, towards the medical camp, you have this big bush right here, and there's a stash right on the front side of it. The other side of this bush, on the east side, you've got the tank pit, and if you run down, there's one rock by itself out here, and behind this rock, you have another stash right here. The next stash is further east, towards the new area, which is up here. We have the factory building right there, and this massive rock, sort of in like a curved shape. Over here in the dip, you've got a stash right here. Next stash, we're at the Northern UN roadblock extract. This is one of the new extracts. You've got the Miltech barns over there, and if you come south towards the UN roadblock, you have a stash next to it in this little pile of trash. So the next stash, we're at the actual cabins right now, or the barns. If you stick along the right wall from the Northern UN roadblock stash, you come out to this open area, and a sniper scav that will fucking shoot you if you get on there, so don't go too far out of that area. But if you run along this ridge right here, you come to this log pile, and if you go off of this log right here, the one that's kind of angled, if you just run straight off of it, you come to this small tree, and right under the small tree you have another stash. Okay, the next stash is the log piles down there, and you come down the road. This would be west, and you'll come to this intersection right here. You have this big Terra Group truck and the barns right there, and in this big pile of rubble, you have a stash right here in the left cylindric thing. Next, we're behind the barns, the Miltech barns. You have Northern UN roadblock over there. The one stash that we hit next to log piles, and then the rubble stash right there. This will be back towards Old Woods, and it's southwest-ish from the Miltech barns. You have this big rocky area right here. There's two massive rocks. If you run between those rocks and come towards this one rock out in the open, under it, you have a stash right here. Alright, the next stash is back in Old Woods. We have the plane crash right there, Spine Rock and Sniper Rock. If you come from the plane crash towards, what direction is this? Pretty much east. You're going to come to this fallen over tree right here, and under the tree you have a stash. So now we're at the top of one of the new areas. This is behind Sniper Scav Rock, where you have that tech crate right there behind the bush. And if you come down the hill behind that, you have this massive dip between two huge rocks and these two tiny trees next to each other, and behind that is a stash. Alright, so the last stash that we hit on top of Sniper Rock was pretty much in that area behind this big rock. So if you come left from that last stash and stick along the rock, you're going to come out up there, and then you want to come down to the right. And when you come down here, you have this huge rock to your left, the massive rock to your right, and in front of you, kind of an outlook, and you probably just saw the stash right there. There it is behind this orange tree. Alright, next stash, the last one that we hit was over here. The next stash, if you're running towards the water, you're going to find the power lines. These are a really good way to locate yourself just all the way across the map. But more towards the northeast of the power line, you come to this rock. Let me try and locate. So right here you have the cultist town. Down the road you have the scav town, and up on this rock on the far right side of it, you start going down the hill if you go too far, but up here under a tree you have another stash. Okay, so now we're at the bridge car extract. This is one of the new extracts. It's on the northeast corner of the map. So on the water here that runs along the entire northeast side of the map, you have this final dip before you actually get to the bridge car extract. And if you go up into the dip, you're going to come to this tree next to this orange small pine tree, and there's a bush in between them, and right next to the bush is another stash. Okay, now this rock is pretty much east of the cultist village. You have the fallen church right there. You have this massive rock over here, and then one of the stashes that we hit was behind that rock. This one's very difficult to explain. So if you come to this huge rock that you can get on top of, you're gonna come off of it to where it kind of sinks back into the ground, and you'll come to this path. There's one big bush to, just for reference, directly north of this rock. There we go. Come to this bush, and it's on, where is it? On the front side, actually. So it's very close to that rock. If you can locate this rock, you should be able to find the bush. There's another bush right here that's kind of on the path. It's not that bush. It is this one right here. Alright, so now we're on the rock in the cultist village behind the church. You have the blue tents over here, with the blue and the white tent over there. And then this cabin that's sunken in and has an open door. This is north from the cultist village for cardinal direction. Just run straight in the front door of the cabin. You can't go any further inside of it, but there's a stash in the bush. Also in this bush, there's a rare item spawn somewhere around this kind of plank sticking out of the ground. Just look right in there if you check this stash. And another thing is inside of this church, on this boat right here, I found a lion right there. That's a rare item spawn. And inside the actual top of the church, there's 3 rare item spawns. There's one right there, I believe, and one on this side. So this church is a little bit more dangerous to check than just the cabin itself. But if you come here maybe late game, you can check that and maybe get something good. Alright, the next stash is really close to the last one that was in that bush in the house. If you come behind the tents in relation to the house, you're going to find this big rock right here, and if you follow the left side of the rock, you'll come up to a bunch of trees, and in a corner of the rock, you have a stash. Alright, this is on the northmost point of the map. You have the Scav extract. It's called Scav Bridge right there. You have the border of the map that goes along this side. You can see one of the mine signs right there. That is a sniper scav area. And the blue wall way out there. So this is a triangular part of the road where it kind of splits. And on the north side of this triangle, you have a rock and then a massive collection of bushes and trees. And right here, on the south side of this bush is a stash. Alright, so we are now on the northwest side of the map. There's the Scav bunker extract and the big radio tower. You have the top side of the USEC camp over there and the minefield around the USEC camp, all in that area. And this is a hill in between both of those points. If you run off of the big rock on top of the lake, on the top of this hill, you're going to find this big rock. And on the right side of this rock, behind this little bush, you have another stash. Okay, so now we're at the lake with the scav inside of a boat and the pier. So if you come towards the front of the scav on the shore, you run along, you're going to start to see the USEC convoy right there. And when you can see that, there's this collection of trees and a bush right next to it, and there's a stash right in the middle of that. Alright, now we're south of the last stash that we hit with the scav bridge and a boat just over there. If you come south, you're going to find these rocks and 2 trees. And across the shore from the 2 trees, this one's not very easy to orient, so hopefully you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you come up the hill from the 2 trees, you have these 4 trees and that middle tree that's covering them. And there's a bush next to that bush. And on the tree side of the bush, the 2 tree side of the bush, the lake side of the bush, you have another stash. So now we're kind of east, pretty much east of the last stash that we were at. The last stash is somewhere in that direction. There's the lake that we were at. If you get under these power lines, there's one pylon right there. You can't really see that from here, but it's next to the lake. And if you follow the east of the power line, you're going to come to the next pylon, and under it, you have a stash next to the concrete. Okay, so now we're on the west side of the massive scav rock in the middle of the map, pretty much. You have another triangle in the road with the west side of the triangle now having a log pile on it, the east side having that scav rock, and south side having the sawmill. So this is actually the old SUV road. So the car extract used to be down there, but the road's been extended. So now if you come to this triangle, with the point of it being over there, you just follow through the point. You'll come to this bush that's pretty much in the middle of it, and a massive tree, and right under the tree you have another stash. So now we're behind what is commonly called Dickhead Rock, and you have the Scav Sniper Rock up there. So if you come straight out behind Dickhead Rock, you're going to come to this dip, and if you cross this dip and go towards the new kind of, I don't even know what you call this, just a massive collection of rocks. You have 3 trees coming out of the rock in, rising order, and on the middle tree, right under it, you have a stash in the rock. Alright, so now we're on the west side of the map. This is pretty much in the middle of the map. On the west side, we're on the power line, and this is the last one under a pylon. So at USEC camp, if you come south to the road with the power line over it and run to the right, you're going to come to this power... Alright, so now we're under USEC camp, the southmost USEC camp. If you come to the road, you have the power line that goes over the road, and if you run to the right, you're going to come to this pylon, and under the pylon, you have a stash. Alright, now we follow the power line with the road down to this area. You want to start to get kind of cautious right here, because on the left side of this hill, the mines come beyond the road, even though it's marked, way out. On the right side, you're fine. It's where it's actually marked, up there and down here, but you don't want to go anywhere beyond this hill. So you have the rock on the right side of the hill, and you run along the rock, stay on top of the hill. You're going to come to a bush next to a tree, and inside the bush, you have a stash. To get out of this area, just follow the top of the hill, because again, if you go out here anywhere, there are mines that go along the left side of the road, so don't go near that. Alright, so now we're next to Dickhead Rock. This is on the west side of it. You have the one stash under the tree and the rocks up there, and if you come to this fallen over tree next to Dickhead Rock, under this massive tree, it was stash. Alright, so now we're to the west of the old sawmill. That's Red Bag Hill now, right there. Mark Circle is up here. You have the checkpoint right there. The 2 rocks on the road over here, and Scav cabin, Scav hut over here. Under this fallen tree that you can get on top of for a pretty good angle, in this wooded area, you have this massive bush, and under the bush you have a stash. Also, if you're hitting these stashes on night runs on woods, watch out, because this entire wooded area, from beyond this up to Dickhead Rock, can spawn cultists. So, you might get totally fucked checking these stashes. Alright, and the last stash that I know of is down near Outskirts Extract, which is in that direction. You have this deer stand, which is new, and the dead scav down on the shore right here. Next to the deer stand, towards the shore, you have this bush that's pretty large, and right under the bush, you have a stash. That's all the stashes that I know of on woods. It's 28 of them, and I found 2 new ones that I haven't seen in any videos yet, so hopefully this helps.